Hey everyone, this is Bev from Art by Bedell, and it is January 2024. Another year's gone by. It's just every year as I get older and older, I say this is just going way too fast. Anyhow, I am excited to have Junk Journal January here. I really loved doing this last January, so we're going to give it a try. July didn't happen for me. I just had too much going on. So here is my journal. I have posted pictures on my Facebook page of the journal. I did a different type of a spine here, and I really like that. Now, there's some things I need to improve on here for my next one, but I am loving this style. And the pages here, how the color just shows through, it's just really cool. So you'll probably see more of these. And here is my front cover, my prompt list, my first prompt, which was resolutions. I prefer to call it intentions. And then we're on our second day here, and our prompt for this day is quote. I have chosen this year, most of my journals, I love to do nature, okay? Bottom line, I love to do nature. No matter whether it's botanicals, whatever, animals, critters, whatever, plants, trees, as long as it's nature. So this year, I do believe, now I can change my mind because I've been known to do that over and over and over, but I think I am going to just focus on making nature journals. It's my love. It's what really gives me inspiration. So that's what I'm going to do. So anyhow, my quote is, "We breathe air exhaled from trees whose leaves are made of starlight. Our veins echo the patterns of ribbons, branches, and root systems. We are not a part of nature. We are nature." I am not going to butcher this lady's name. I have no idea, but let me just bring it up closer here. And there's her name. Marysia, maybe? That's not how I would spell it, but whatever. So anyhow, I have pre-prepped my page here, which is just a page out of an old book. I believe it probably was a floral book, or yeah, I think it was a floral book. My bird book pages are smaller, but I pre-prepped it with white gesso. The next thing I want to do is to add some inks. I have been playing with inks for the past, I don't know, 6 months, and have discovered that I really like these things, probably more so than I like these liquid acrylic inks. I like better than the distress inks. I'm going to add a little red oxide here. First, I better get some paper underneath so I don't have just a big old mess on the underside here. And I just am recycling some pages that I had printed out and using them as my catch-alls. And then you might see some of these inked up pages in for further projects, maybe. So I'm going to take my dropper and I'm going to just drop a little bit of this Liquitex red oxide ink on my page. And then I'm going to take my squirt gun, and you've seen me do this several times by now and know that this is really floating my boat. The colors are really floating too, okay? And so we're just going to get this down, let it run a little bit. And then I want to, what do I want to do? I could soap up a little bit of the water. I'm just pressing down lightly just to get some of the water, not so much of the ink. And I really didn't get much of any either. Let's try that again. Go. So we have some pretty color going on there. Now let's add a little blue. I want to keep the blue a little bit away from that red because I really don't want mud, but I do want some blue on here. So we put that color on, and then we will spray that also. and then we'll dab it. Now, a little bit of ink goes a long way. I've yet to get it so that I don't feel as though I've wasted ink by putting too much on, because I just always get too much. But it's not truly wasted when I'm putting it on scrap paper and then using my scrap paper. So there is a pretty piece of paper that can be used in future projects. I think we need to sop up a little bit more right here, maybe. And you can move your ink around this way too by sopping it up with your paper and then moving it to another area here. Okay, so I'm going to be careful down here, and up here we're kind of running into each other. So I'm going to take time now with my heat gun, and I'm going to dry these inks, and then I'll be back. All right, I have that dry, and I'm going to take some of my Artist Loft orange. I want it to match more of this orange than that oxide red. So I'm going to brighten this up a little bit. And that did get a little muddy down here, which is my fault for not drying the orange or the red before I put on the blue. There, that's brighter, that's better. That matches this page much better. And it looks actually really nice with this orange here too. So let's get some of that on our page. Oh yeah, I'm really loving this page here. That's so pretty. And then I'm going to dry this too. Now I have a stencil here. I think is this one. If not, it's close to that. It's this one. And there's no writing on this stencil. I don't even remember where I got it. I've had it for a while. But anyhow, I want to include some of that over here. And if my page is thoroughly dry here, it pretty much is, I want to add some light modeling paste. So the modeling paste I have is by Golden. I have a spatula, and I'm just going to take some of the paste on that, and I'm going to have my stencil go off the page, and I'm going to add a nice little layer of this modeling paste right over top of the stencil. Then I want to move it, and I want to add it like in another spot too. So I'm going to bring it down here, and I'm going to add some more paste, and I need a little bit more on my palette knife here. And my stencil moved a little, so we'll see what we get. Yeah, it'll be okay. I'm not worried about that. I'm not so sure I like this, so we can take this off here. And do I need a little bit more? Probably a little bit more right down here on the bottom. Then we'll let this dry, and I will be back. Okay, I'm back, and it's pretty much dry. Maybe still a little damp, but I have some elements that I want to add to this. I think first thing I want to do is add a little bit of green color to my I don't think they're ferns, it's just like some sort of foliage. And I have my forest moss and distress ink with my applicator, and I'm just going to rub a little bit of my ink onto that just to make it pop out a little bit. Nothing wrong with leaving it white, but I kind of wanted to add some colors, so here we go. I don't know if it actually makes it pop out a little bit more or it doesn't, because the white was pretty bright on all this color. But like I say, I wanted it green, so this is what we're going to do. And if you don't wait until it's dry enough, then you could really smear it and make a mess. So you want to make sure that it's dry enough that you can rub on it like this if you're going to add color to it. So there we go. Happy with that. Maybe just a little bit darker down here in the corner. Yeah. Put that aside. Put our inks aside here too. And now I have this mesh ribbon that I pick up at Dollar Tree when they have it. Seems like they get it in and then it's gone like real quick. But anyhow, it looks really nice as some texture, and we all know that this girl loves her texture. So I'm just gonna staple this on the top. It's hard to get it to glue down. And then I'm gonna staple it on the bottom, and that'll hold it in place. There, like that. Then I have a bird. One of my intentions were to have more nature in my life and to do more nature in my journals. And so anyhow, I've picked out this bird. A friend had given me a couple pages of these birds a long time ago. I think I have a couple left still, but I don't know where she found them or anything. But anyhow, let's just ink up around the edges with Distress Vintage Photo. It is my go-to ink for doing the edges of my pages. I just really like the photo. Now, there's a lot of other inks out there too, but I am in love with the photo one. And then I want to ink up the edge of my quote also. My quote, I just printed on some copy paper, not stained, just plain white copy paper. There we go. So I will add some tacky glue onto the back of my bird here. And that's going to go right up here in the top right corner. Press it down. Probably will have to lay a book on this after I get it down in order for everything to get glued down on this side. And then I have a piece of lace. This lace was cut off from a tablecloth that was just a bunch of roses, and I've cut them all up so that I had single pieces of it. And so I want to put this down here. And what's really cool is seeing all the different layers of everything that you do, one behind the other, and it just adds so much dimension and interest because you just keep looking at the page and it's like, oh, I didn't notice that before, or you know, whatever. So it's good to add like the different layers to your pages. At least for me, it is. All right, and so then we'll just put this like right here, pat that down. And then I'm a little undecided here about where I want to put my quote, but I haven't got that far yet. So I now have this trim that I want to add to the bottom of that, and so I'll just put a stream of it, a nice heavy thick stream, because this doesn't always want to lay down the best. And I'll put that down, and it needs to go a little bit further on this side. There we go. And I'm not afraid to add bulk to my journals. I don't mind if in the end I have a gator mouth. I like the texture, so you have to give up something. If you're going to add your texture, you're either going to have a gator mouth or not. So now, like I say, I have my quote here, and I could put my quote there. I could put it over here. I'm kind of liking this just the way it is. So I also have a piece of the fabric. Let me move these pieces of paper here. And this fabric is what I have used on the cover of my journal. You can see it here. So I want to add a piece of that. Sammy has something to say. I'm not sure whether she's happy about something or upset. It sounds more like she might be a little bit more upset. I will go take care of that and be right back. So it's just the neighbors below us. It's a nice sunny day, so they're outside doing something. So anyhow, I have this fabric that I'm using in the journal, and I want to cut a piece of it to go behind my quote. So I'm just going to rip it like that, and then I'll put that aside for another part, and then I'm going to rip this side also, and then I can use that strip somewhere else. And then it's a little too long, So I think I will just cut off some more here. Well, there we go. Sorry about Sammy barking over there. I can't just leave her out while I work here, because then I get involved in what I'm doing, and then she is out there too long and is getting into trouble, and so I have to pay attention to her. So I have to keep her in while I'm doing this. Otherwise, the results of leaving her unattended outside could not be good. So, and we don't want anything to happen to Miss Sammy. Okay, so there we go. And then we'll glue that on. All right, so I have my paper glued onto my fabric, and I want to go add some stitching to it. I haven't added any stitching yet to this page, so I will be right back as soon as I get that accomplished. All right, so I have it stitched. Now I have to make the decision, where do I want to put this? That would be nice, like there, maybe. Or do I want to put it over here? It's kind of big and it hangs off this, which is all right. That would be all right. That could also act as a page tab. So maybe, oh, decisions. What to do? I think if I put it over here, it just hides too much of everything. And this page I don't have anything on, so I am going to put it there. And I will use some of my tacky glue. It's going to hang over as if it were a page tab. So that's pretty cool, right? So make sure I don't get any glue where I want it to hang over. And then we'll just put this on top of here like this. Let me see how far out I can pull that before the glue starts. So there we go. There. So there's our quote on our page. So there's our page. There's our quote. And our bird with the texture. And you can still see where we put some embossing paste with those leaves behind it. There we go. I hope you have enjoyed this little project that I've had today for January 2nd with the prompt of quote. You have a wonderful day today, and we shall see you again soon. Bye now.